Well, good evening and welcome to Tucker Carlson tonight. Gun control saves lives. That's what they're telling you day and night on CNN. In fact, they're having a town hall meeting tomorrow to tell you some more. Anyone who opposes gun control, they'll tell you, by implication if not directly, is a bad person, a callous, cruel, probably violent person, someone who doesn't care about the safety of others. Well, last night, a group of progressive activists took that very message to Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell's home. Here's what they said.
We're at McConnell's house. This think he's about to get some rest. Not if the children that you're kidnapping can't get any rest. Not if families who are getting murdered can't get any rest. Mitch! He's in there nursing his little broken arm. He should have broke his little raggedy, wrinkled ass neck. Murder turtle! Murder turtle! Just stab the motherfucker in the heart.
Stab him in the heart, break his neck. That's the left's message for Mitch McConnell. They're totally opposed to violence, and that's why they want to kill Mitch McConnell. If you're confused, you haven't been paying much attention lately. Almost everything the left says these days is projection. In almost every single case, they accuse you of exactly what they're doing. And this week was no different. In the wake of two horrifying mass shootings, they've been telling us the president is a hater. He's using race to divide us, they scream. It's wrong. Well, they're right about the second part. It's definitely wrong. But using race to divide us, that's a core tenet of the left. Identity politics is the process of dividing people on the basis of immutable characteristics, factors they can't control. And that's what the Democratic Party is at this point. It's an identity politics party. They promise some Americans reparations. They denounce others for their skin color. They call it privilege. The entire country, they'll tell you, is fundamentally racist and therefore evil.
This country was founded on white supremacy, and every single institution and structure that we have in our country still reflects the legacy of slavery and segregation and Jim Crow and suppression, even in our democracy.
We can't be blind to the impact of generations of racism and white supremacy that were written into our laws over centuries.
So they're buffoons. Yes, they are. They're dumb, of course. Do they have any idea what they're really saying? Probably not. But that doesn't make the cumulative effect any less sinister or damaging. What you're watching, what you saw in those tapes, what you're watching every day, is a systematic effort by the left to undermine the institutions that hold this country together. Chief among those institutions, in this and all societies throughout time, is law enforcement, our justice system. Over the past 25 years, that's been a success story. America's cops have radically reduced crime across this nation. They brought our cities back to life. If you don't know that, you're obviously under 40. Ask anybody who lived in New York City in 1991 what it was like. If that person's honest, you'll be grateful for what the cops did. But now, on the basis of no evidence whatsoever, the left is telling us police are racist monsters.
I have challenged our police department to recognize all of the ways in which the uniform has been burdened by racism.
We're going to crack down on police brutality aimed primarily at people of color.
Training for police officers on implicit racial bias and procedural justice, because to deny it exists is to deny folks liberty and in many cases life.
How can we continue to lose the lives of unarmed black men in the United States of America at the hands of white police officers? That is not justice.
If you are young and black, you're treated differently because of the color of your skin. I don't believe that it's just a case of a few bad apples. I believe that the system is broken.
Imagine if you were a cop, or your dad was a cop, or your son was, having to sit and watch that slander day after day. Again, on the basis of no evidence they're saying that. It's disgusting. Dividing us? Oh yes, they're dividing us. Or how about our thousands of ICE agents working to enforce laws that the Congress passed? The Congress passes the laws and then hires people, and doesn't pay them all that much, to enforce their laws. Now Democrats are calling those people Nazis. Good people doing a thankless job that we need to have done, only to have some pampered moron like Ocasio-Cortez savage them for political reasons. None of this is new, by the way. 3 years ago, you remember, Hillary Clinton ran an entire presidential campaign on this premise, attacking the country itself and its people as immoral bigots.
You could put half of Trump supporters into what I call the basket of deplorables. Racist, sexist, homophobic, xenophobic, Islamophobic, you name it.
That's a message of unity? No. It's a message of disunity. It's a message of hate, actually. Think through the implications of it. Racist, sexist, xenophobic. What do you do to people like that? Do you try and help them? Do you feel like they're your countrymen, your brothers? No. They're horrible. You try to destroy them. And they are trying to destroy them. Yesterday, Texas Democratic Congressman Joaquin Castro, we're not making this up, by the way, tweeted out the names of 44 residents of San Antonio who've donated to Donald Trump's presidential campaign. Illegal activity. But he tweeted them out, and then he tweeted out the names of their employers, too. Why do you think he did that? You know the answer. How'd you feel tonight if you were one of those people? Would you feel safe? No, you wouldn't. That's fine with Congressman Castro, though. His point is really clear. You know exactly why he did that. If someone gets hurt, that's not his problem. You can see where this is going. It wasn't that long ago that the Boston Globe ran an op-ed suggesting that restaurant workers poison the food of Trump supporters. And, of course, Democrats have been calling on people to harass and scream at people tied to the Trump administration for years. They've been saying that.
Go to the Hill today. Get up and please get up in the face of some Congress people.
If you see anybody from that cabinet in a restaurant, in a department store, at a gasoline station, you get out and you create a crowd. And you push back on them. And you tell them they're not welcome.
So, yes, these people are buffoons. And it's our fault sometimes, if we're being honest, including this show, for highlighting what buffoons they are. Because by doing that, we underplay how dangerous their rhetoric is. Our democratic system only works when citizens are free to disagree, free to say to their neighbors, we're on separate pages, we vote for separate people, and not be afraid to say that. But the left is making us afraid to say that. The left demands total conformity. They don't believe in diversity in any sense. They'll use censorship and threats to keep people in line. And in the short term, that may work. They're hoping it works till next November. But over time, it's a big mistake. It's exactly how things fall apart. Brian Dean Wright is a Democrat and a former CIA